Back with episode 2 of answering Reddit questions, where I'm running through everyone's Reddit comments and answering the forums because I feel like having a long discussion in the comment section can be extremely difficult and hard to get some context. So I figured I would take some of the most common questions that I've seen that are trending and give you some context, some feedback, maybe some science, some of my personal professional opinions about why it would matter and be good for you to do it. And yeah, just kind of provide some value with this. So we're going to dive right into it. And this first question is gaining weight even though I'm consistent at the gym. And it's always good when there's some context, because without context, we know that it is impossible to get to the bottom of this. I'm a 25-year-old female. I've been on a weight loss journey since 2023, and I've lost 20 to 30 kilos between August 23rd and April 9th. That's really good progress, so congratulations. From approximately 120 to 124 kilograms. Good job. I was a UK size 24, and now I'm a UK size 18 and 20. However, since April 24, the weight has been pushing on, and I've climbed back up to 132. I was weight training mixed with 20 to 30 minutes of cardio, and also between October 2024 and April 2025, I took up a challenge to run a 5K, which I achieved. Again, so far, all I'm reading are consistent wins, which is big and impressive, so congratulations. I hate running, not just because it sucks, but because it really hurts my knees. I enjoy weight training, especially a leg day, but my knees hurt so much after a run, I can't do proper leg day, so I stopped running. So see, the thing is, again, this is me assuming things based on what you've said. If you've been bigger all your life and you haven't exercised, your joints and your ligaments and your tendons, they will take a lot of strain. They will take a lot of stress. Something high impact like running will put a lot of damage into it, especially if you don't have a long history of exercise. Potentially cycling or low impact walking like treadmills could be good. Even though you completed the 5K, congratulations. I would definitely step back from it for a little while and strengthen the joints around your legs. Now, I don't weigh my food, and I'm not eager to either. I don't want to create a bad relationship with food. Typically, when restricting myself, I tend to stick to it for a period of time and almost binge when I recognize was really impacting my mental health. So I try to eat more balanced meals. I used to eat a lot of carbs with no vegetables. I started my weight loss journey, but now I'm eating a lot more vegetables, less carbs, more balanced. I have a history of overeating. So you see, this is the first thing where I'm gonna read the whole section before I get into that part. I think that's the key right here. But the weight is still there. My job is pretty stressful too. I don't really have a lot of energy, but I'm still pretty consistent in the gym and my eating habits. I know it seems like a simple solution to most, but to me, I don't really know what to do anymore. Any advice would be grateful. I'm going to dive into this and with my opinion and some professional expertise and maybe give you a bit of context. So what you've done has been really good. You've achieved a really tremendous goal. Already achieved a lot with the 20 kilo weight loss, and it's been creeping up. Now you say you're very active, you have a highly stressful job, and you want to work on your relationship with food. However, you state that you don't want to count calories, but you have a tendency to overeat and you have a stressful job. So you already have a negative relationship with food that we have to look into first. You cannot, no matter how active you are, outtrain a bad diet. You might be eating healthy meals, and that's okay. They might be well balanced protein, carbs, fats, whole foods, and all these things. However, if you're not in a calorie deficit, the weight will creep up. If you say you have a stressful job and you have a tendency to snack, probably the snacking will be healthy, but put you in a calorie surplus or maintenance, which will make the weight creep up. So even though strength training is great, the running is great, and you are active, the nutrition part is so important. Now, you don't have to build a relationship with the calorie counting. You don't need calorie counting to lose weight. But what you should do is calorie count the meals you're consuming right now. As you say, you're eating healthy foods right now. What I would do is take the food that you're eating now, weigh it out, and measure out the calories for that, and eat the same like every single day. Then those numbers without having to track. So if you track the meal once, have the same breakfast every single day. If you have a tendency to say overeat or overbinge on a Tuesday or a Friday, that might put you in a small calorie surplus. But if the other days are still in a calorie deficit, you could probably balance yourself out and still lose weight. Let's say 130 kilos now, you're active, you're strength training, you're doing a bit of cardiovascular exercise, and you're eating healthy. We put you at, say, 1,800 to 2,000 calories. Should be a significant calorie deficit for someone at such weight and activity level. You're sticking to whole foods, but you are tracking and aware of those calories and sticking to it. I mean the days you're stressful, the days you're tired, you're exhausted, and you can't think, you're not grabbing stuff on the go, because that can put you up to maintenance or more. It's so easy to bump your calories to maintenance or surplus without realizing it. So that would be my advice for someone who is to lose weight, but even though they're working out. Okay, we have a glute question. I've got no glute progression. That's the title. And we have context. That's important. What am I doing wrong? I've been consistent for 6 to 8 months in the gym. Training for the past 2 years with cardio. I've lost 3 stone. Why do we have so many different metrics? We've got stones, pounds, kilos. What's next? I was eating 400 to 600 calories daily, which made me lose all shape. That is incredibly low. For the glutes in the last 6 months, I've been training glutes 3 times a week and eating 70 to 100 grams of protein, and I'm 4'11". How are you going from stones to grams to feet? We have all the metrics here in one. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, as soon as I eat more than 900 calories, I'm gaining weight like crazy. Just 2 weeks, I've gained nearly a stone, and now my glute growth won't happen because 1400 happen without 1400-ish. I'm assuming you mean calories. Even though I'm doing cardio, I'm gaining stomach fat like crazy, and I don't understand how. I'm gonna say the quiet part out loud. Come here. You cannot gain a fat ass without any sort of stomach gain. Your stomach will go up a little bit, so will your ass. It has to. A calorie surplus is needed, a mild calorie surplus or maintenance is needed in order for you to grow muscle and grow a bit of size. If you want to grow your glutes, you need to be eating. Even if you're 4'11", you should not be eating 900 calories, especially if you're working out 3 to 4 times a week. Unless you're sitting isolated 24 hours a day dead, your BMR alone is probably 1400 calories. You probably have a very unhealthy this is my assumption, by the way. You probably have an unhealthy relationship with food where you're under eating and overeating, and your body is adapted to utilizing the low calories, so your BMR is just crashed. You haven't ruined your metabolism, but your body's just adapted to it. So gaining a little bit of body fat, and also your perception of your body fat and belly fat going up, is probably also skewed. So this text to me reads someone who's panicking and emotionally stressed to get results, and you're relying on emotion to get you there, and because of that you're stuck in this yo-yo loop, which is a common problem I deal with a lot of people that come to work with me. The way we tackle that is we build a system. I say you show up, you do these daily tasks, and you get results. If you're tired, if you're sad, if you're happy, you still do the task the same way. The lack of effort, the effort might be different on some days, that's fair, but you still show up. That's how you get results. That's how your glutes will start growing. Not by doing 100 different workouts, and not by starving at 900 calories. And the last one for today's episode, I haven't lost any weight in 5 weeks. There's context in this one, but like, guys, 5 weeks. Come on. 5 weeks is nothing. It's nothing. Been on a diet since August last year, and I've lost, at this point, 28 kilograms. Congratulations, that's really good. I lost it just by eating way less, and since January, I started going to the gym, tracking calories, and I ate around 1,500 calories. Okay, that's a big deficit, I assume. Then I started taking creatine 5 weeks ago and bumped my calories up to 1,700 calories, then later to 1,900 calories. Okay, I wonder why would you bump your calories up when you started taking creatine? Is there any correlation there? Not a bad thing. It's good to bump your calories up, and creatine is also fine. It doesn't require you to bump calories up. It will just retain a bit of water weight, but nothing crazy. I'm kind of stuck at the 18 kilo mark. Okay, so you're 80 kilograms and you start at 1,500 calories and you bumped up to 1,900 calories. That's fair. That's fair. That should be a good deficit, depending how active you are. My lowest was like a week ago, 79 kilos, and today's back to 80.2. So water weight fluctuates a kilo or two depending on nutrition. That's fair. I don't know if I should continue or aggressive cut till I reach my goal and then steadily increase my weights in the gym. I feel like I've been putting on some muscle since I went up to 1,900 calories. Well, it's very unlikely you've been putting on any muscle since you went from 1,500 calories to 1,900 calories. It's most likely the glycogen in your body, in your muscle stores. Essentially, your muscles absorbing the glycogen, and your muscle is it's absorbing more water, so it looks fuller, so it feels fuller, so you feel like you've got more energy, probably feeling stronger, and it feels like you're feeling fuller. That's why on a bulk, a lot of times you'll feel like you can fill out a shirt well, but when you're dieting and you're lean, you actually feel like you get lost in a shirt. So people say, hey bro, do you even lift? But when you take the shirt off, you're like, whoa, you're jacked. Now, taking creatine will probably have a big say in water retention, which might increase your weight from 79 to 80. That's the first thing I would say, which is not a bad thing. Keep that going. Now, if you've increased your calories, but you're expecting weight loss, you're doing it wrong, right? Because now we have no idea of your nutrition and your macros specifically in the details and the timings and all these things, which might affect in the sense of, for example, you've got two weights here. I don't know if you're weighing yourself daily. Are you weighing yourself daily? What's the average trends over the last 5 weeks? That's what I would look at. You give me two weights, a weight on a Sunday and a weight on a Friday. Those are two different numbers that mean nothing to me because I don't know your sleep, stress, recovery. Have you gone to the bathroom and taken a massive, you know what I mean? So those things are important. But if you're been stuck at 5 weeks for a plateau and you've been pumping up your calories, which is a good thing sometimes because you need to go back to maintenance when you've been dieting for a long time for you to feel mentally recharged, for your body to just get a bit more extra fuel and then go back to the deficit because your body gets adapted to the low deficits. That is a smart thing to do. I would probably give it more time. I would look at the big picture. I would zoom out and see the average trends of the past to where you were to where you are at. If your body weight does fluctuate and it does plateau at low calories, I would look at things like your NEAT. Increasing that is is the best way to go, not dropping your calories, because I don't want you to starve more as you are already starving in a deficit. Instead of walking 12,000 steps a day, walk 14,000 steps a day. It's enough to maybe make a small dent in the deficit. So that's my advice if you want to lose weight and you've been stuck in a plateau. Anyways, this is episode 2. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, hit me up. Check out the links in the bio, and I'll catch you in the next one.